So let me put it on a lighter note somewhat here.
Yes.
I mean, when the banks want to do a promo, they do all sorts of advertisements and all sorts of gimmicks are put out there just to get the customer to come. But how is it that they didn't go about this publication so that the customers, even their staff, will get to know about it? Because sometimes you're charged and you don't even know that some monies have been taken from your account. And some of them are in beat. I mean, I just heard yesterday that a young man was arrested for stealing in over 5 years 100 million naira from one of the banks. And he was in 1 naira here, 2 naira there. Small bits. So how is it that the banks don't make the customers or don't bring out this in such a way that the customers would know and own it?
Well, I can confirm that when the guide to bank charges were issued in April, a lot of the banks put out adverts and sent mails and SMS to their customers to say there is a new guide to bank charges. But you know, we are in a country that is constantly in a flux. One information or news comes up and everything else is drowned, and after 2 weeks that one is dead, another one comes out, the past one is drowned, so you lose focus. But it is the responsibility of each and every one of us to watch what we are doing. If you are entering into a transaction with the banks that will require them to take charges, ask them to give you the guideline to bank charges.
If you don't ask, they won't give you.
Or look it up in the internet. But there is also a comment.
But that's so convenient for the bank to say that.
Pardon?
It's very convenient for the bank to say that. Go look it up on the internet.
Well, it's there in the internet, you know, and I'm sure that banks will make efforts to tell the customer. But there is another charge which banks are being accused of taking, which is not their own. It is a tax. And that is a stamp duty. And let me tell you my worry with the stamp duty. You know, if you deposit 100 naira into a current account, the federal government of Nigeria is going to charge you 50 naira stamp duty. So I have a challenge with that stamp duty because I believe that there should have been a threshold of deposits that should not qualify for that stamp duty. I'm president of a small Parapa organization, so we have our we gave our subscription is like 3,500. So as our members, everybody paid 3,500. Now you pay 3,500, transfer it into the account. And then each 3,500, there's stamp duty of 15 naira. So, reduces the money. So, anytime you receive a deposit, if I send 2,000 naira to any of my wards in the university through their account, unless it's a savings account, if it's a current account, 15 naira goes off.
On which side? On your side or on their side?
On the side of the recipient. 15 naira goes up.
And sometimes, depending on what your location, if you send money from one part of the country to another, there are also charges. I think that one goes to the banks.
Well, no. There'll be a charge. I mean, the man who sends it. But again,
is that still called COT? I thought they scrapped it.
No. There is service charge, which is 1 naira per meal.
1 naira per
1 naira per 1,000 naira.
Okay.
That's service charge. Then there is a transfer charge. And see, the CBN has made life very difficult for the bankers because in the new guide to bank charges, these charges have been minimized and clearly specified.
Okay, let's take it from there when we return from the break in a moment. Don't go away. All right, just before we get you to conclude on that part, let's go to Mark. She's got a question. Mark?
Yeah, what do we also make of this new trend where banks make customers, you know, download their apps by force? It's almost compulsory in all the banks now. If you want to do certain transactions, the first question they ask you is, do you have our app? They will make it easier if you have our app. And then there are certain penalties. They are very indirect penalties they impose if you choose not to download their apps. What do we make of that?
Okay. Thank you so much, Mark. But I have also complained personally to the banks about that. Because banks are in the service business, they cannot serve customers on their own terms. They should serve customers on the customer's terms. I understand what they're trying to do, because when you have the app, doing business is easier, because if you have the app, you can do your online transfers, you can do your internet banking, you can do most of these things. And indirectly, the banks are forcing customers to download their app by making sure that certain transactions you could ordinarily do across the counter, they are no longer available. But I don't think that that's the right thing to do. The right thing to do is to explain to customers the benefits of using those apps and encouraging them to download them, because when you have the app, it makes your life easier because you are carrying your bank on your handheld equipment. So I agree with you, Maokwe, that you shouldn't force customers. You should actually encourage them and explain to them why it is necessary, because it's to their benefits. If you have the app, you ask yourself that, so something like this have existed all along, and I've been suffering myself.
I wonder why they don't force us to read those bank charges, maybe put a copy in the same way they try to force us to download those apps. Because, I mean, if they do that side by side, then people will be a lot more aware and perhaps complain less because they're aware of what's going on.
Chamberlain, the guide to bank charges is a 63-page document. There is no way the bank is going to print a 63-page document. Because they don't want us to read it, they made it 63 pages.
But
it is there in the internet. Anybody can access it. In fact, with your phone, you can just pick it up and say, how much is service charge?
These guys are
how
smart.
Much is commission?
They could have made
how much
100
is
so that we just don't bother. They get 100 pages, we won't bother ourselves.
Anyway, so, but on a final note, I want to say that there are actually 3 stakeholders in this charge business. The CBN is one, the customers is one, and the banks are one. And their roles and responsibilities are, work together for the interest of everybody.
All right. We need to angle at that point. Mr. Anyanwu is the former executive director of Mainstream Bank and also the CEO of MyStrace. Thank you for coming on this morning.
Thank you very much.
And that's the show today. Thank you for watching. We'll be back next week. I'm Chamberlain Usol.
I'm Anogwi. Have yourself a good weekend.
Thank you so much for watching. We hope to see you later tonight on Hard Copy. I'm Maokwe Ogun.